talk to your boss, you leave feeling like shit, here are 3 signs your boss is the problem and they are toxic. Number 1, they give you critique, not constructive criticism. Yes, they're different. Feels like they say things just to shit on you, not to help you improve. Number 2, when you make a mistake, it's your fault, but when you have a big win or do something well, suddenly it's all them. Finally, they gossip with you about your other coworkers. That shit's weird.
Here are 5 telltale signs that your boss doesn't like you. Even though these signs are subtle, you'll recognize them. The first sign is they don't acknowledge your presence. What does this look like? Well, in the morning, typically when you come in, everybody will say good morning. But when they see you approaching, they'll just so happen to get in a conversation with somebody else. Oh, good morning. And it'll go on all this small talk, to give you enough time to walk by so they don't have to acknowledge your presence. If that doesn't work and they happen to make that eye contact with you that they've been trying to avoid and you say good morning, they'll say good morning real short and keep it moving. The second sign is they don't involve you in key decisions or solicit your feedback from projects that you may be close to. You could be real close to the project and know all the nuances and, everything that's going on. They'll go around you and ask someone else about it. 3, when they are around you, they give off negative energy and body language. They're giving the subtle eye rolls, the small huffs and puffs, folding the arms, and just like, interesting. Here's a popular one. You walk up to their desk and you're speaking to them about a project. They will not move their face out the computer. It's like, very dismissive, but at the same time, yeah, I'm going to let her know I'm acknowledging her, but it's really not that important to me. They don't look up. If you find that you're on Teams, when you're speaking to them in the meeting, they'll look at their screen and act like they're on their keyboard, just typing away or, occupying themselves so they don't have to look at you and give you that eye contact. 4, they steal the credit for your ideas. Now, you can come up with an idea that's very good, that's useful, that brings value. They will shoot it down in front of your face. Let a few weeks pass, they're going to bring that idea back up like it's innovative and they just thought of it and isn't this great? And you're like, wait a minute. I just said that to you like 3 weeks ago. Really? Now this is your idea? I remember somebody stole my idea and we were in a meeting like 50 people deep. And she presented it like it was her own. I embarrassed the hell out of her. Not only did I ask her a series of questions that I knew she could not answer because she didn't have the expertise that I have, but I told her after she could not answer in front of the 50 people, don't ever steal my ideas. That's my idea. Well, we could take this offline. Nah, you online with my idea? We gonna resolve this right here. Don't ever steal my ideas and pass them off as your own. Now, let me be clear. I did that in the meeting. I'm not encouraging anyone else to do that when somebody steals their idea. The reason why I was able to do that because I had fuck you money and I was able to deal with the consequences no matter how they came. And plus, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And I was not going to stand there and listen to somebody stealing my ideas and passing them off. And 5, they show indifference to your growth. What does that look like? They don't give you any feedback, good or bad. And feedback is essential for anyone to grow. You cannot grow or know where your opportunities exist if feedback is being held back from you. There are many more signs. That's just part 1. I may do a part 2.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but watch those managers that don't like you for no reason. They are the real ops. If you come to work and you do your job, you mind your business, you're not in no cliques, and you do everything that your boss asks you to do, you even do overtime, and your boss still don't like you. See, this is a dangerous situation because whenever you have a boss that don't like you for no reason, they will try to sabotage your job, your career, and you. Anytime a manager nitpicks at you, no matter how good you are as an employee, but anytime they nitpick at you, that's the first sign. You could be one of those workers that come to work on time, and for the first time, you are 1 minute late, and they will write you up. They'll call you in the office for every little small thing. A lot of these managers that don't like you for no exact reason, they watch you They observe you. They watch every little thing that you do. They watch every detail. They try to find reasons to terminate you. Now, I've said this before plenty of times, but this is something that y'all should take heed in. You ever had a manager that walked right past you and didn't speak to you? Didn't even acknowledge you? Or a manager that walks right past you and huffs and puffs like, yeah, watch out for that. Why do you think some of these bosses give hard workers a hard time? They write you up for everything, and then you gotta watch out for people that's close to the manager's pet. Because every little thing that you don't do, they will run back and tell the boss. Y'all better be careful.
One of the absolute worst mean girl bullies that I ever had in my entire career was when I worked in the beauty industry, and I had a new DM come in, and she was older, and you could tell, I have no problem with any of these things, but I could tell that she was so dissatisfied with herself. She was an extremely tall, not extremely tall, she was just much taller than me, broader than me. She was at least 25 years older than me, and she was constantly getting work done, like getting her neck tucked, like doing all these things. And she was what we would call nicety. Nicety is when you are actually being nasty, but you smile and it comes off as you're being nice, like you look nice, but there's this just venom and undertone to what you're saying. And she was constantly like this. She absolutely steamrolled me, and I mean in the worst bullying kind of way. She was extremely threatening. She pulled me into her office one time and actually sat her chair in front of the door facing me and was pointing at me as she was talking to me. And at this point, I mean, I was in my mid-20s, you know, I had already been in work for 10 years by now, and just absolutely no reason to be speaking to me like that. But it was like, if corporate had seen her, that would not have gone over well. Like, she was insane. But in the beauty industry in particular, you have so many people that are focused on how they look and the beauty world and all this. So when you have people in leadership, especially these mean girl types, that can get away with this stuff secretly, like pulling people into offices where they can bully, it's just another level of volatile and toxic, because they're in this beauty industry, they're focused on beauty, and so you've got this level of like being a woman that hates younger women or hates other women and is threatened by them. But then, you know, they're in a leadership role where they can control the narrative and they can control the trajectory of your career by how they talk about you in circles of other higher ups. But they have that authority that they can just march into your office or your store and pull you into a back room and speak to you so poorly. But they know so many other people that there's nothing you can do about it. No one's going to believe you. She was so scary, like legitimately scary. And now she's apparently some kind of like life coach or something. She like trains people in how to be like happier and fulfilled with their life.
About letting employers take advantage of you, so here are 3 things you're going to do to make sure they stay in their lane. Number 1, unless you're getting paid to work off the clock, you're off the clock, sweetheart, so act accordingly. We pay attention to who's getting raises. CEO just got a $2 million raise and you just got a $200 bonus. Something's not adding up. Let's ask for more at your year-end performance review. And my personal favorite, it's the we're a big happy family complex, where they con you into thinking that your team is one big happy family, so you all work overtime in an effort to help each other out, but ultimately all you're doing is helping your manager look good for less money. We're gonna set boundaries right there, okay?
If you have a mean boss, if your boss is just the spawn of Satan for some reason, this is what you need to do. Number 1, you need to change your mindset. Instead of languishing in misery like they probably want you to do, you need to have a positive attitude. If they give you criticism, appear to take it as constructive, but also don't take anything they say personally, because they're probably not the best source for feedback for you. Number 2, work as best as possible. Like, do your best work. Because A, so they don't bother you about the quality of your work, and B, I'll tell you why in just a second. 3, when you're not working, look for other jobs. Look for other roles, look for other positions, update your resume, start networking, because you need to get out of there. If your manager is bad, they can literally be detrimental to your career. Number 5, when you get that new job, let your manager know. They're gonna regret treating you like crap. Hopefully they have a hard time replacing you because you acted indispensable for the last bit of time that you were there.
It's always the ones that get no respect outside of work that abuse their authority when given a management position. I'm telling you. See, toxic managers feel powerless as a person, So when they get placed in a role that gives them power over others, they always take that shit overboard. They try to talk to you nasty, excessively micromanage you, try to get you to do a whole bunch of shit that's outside of your job description. But it's all a facade. It's a front they use to cover up what they lack outside of the workplace. See, a person that's at peace doesn't go around starting chaos, but a miserable person will start chaos just to disturb others' peace. Now, I love you. I'm out of here.
Toxic work environments. My name is Andrew Simcoe. I'm a trial lawyer and I teach negotiation, argument, and communication. If you are in a toxic work environment or you have a toxic boss that's unkind and rude, we've all seen these types of bosses before. You should show him or her and teach them a lesson, and you should leave that job. You should be doing everything in your power to find another opportunity, another job that's better than the job that you already have. Because this is unacceptable behavior by these bosses. They're taking advantage of employees, and you should stand up for yourself and leave.